Hi.
Oh, hey there. How you doing?
Good, Chantel?
Yes.
Yes, nice to meet you. I'm Chrystal from ADP.
Oh, nice to meet you, Chrystal. I'm happy to meet with you today.
Oh, good. How are you feeling today?
Oh my goodness, I'm just so tired. We've been so busy in the office.
Oh, really?
And, and I know I promised you about 30 minutes. We're gonna have to cut it down to 10. Is that okay?
That's perfectly fine. I can work with that.
Okay, great.
All right. Well, Chantel, I'm curious. Tell me about Pick Prince.
Oh, well, Pick Prince is a fairly new company. We started about a year ago. So just between the owner and myself, we're running the company.
Okay. Since you and the owner, are you the manager?
Oh, yep, I'm the manager.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And I see that since the owner's not here, is there anybody else involved in the decision making for this payroll process?
No, I'll be making the final decision.
Okay. All right. Is that the case? How long have you been with Pick Prince? Since the beginning?
Since the beginning, so just about a year now, too. Yeah.
That sounds cool. All right. Well, Chantel, I'm here to kind of learn more about your company. You told me about Pick Prince, and I want to know more about your payroll system so that we can kind of figure out how ADP can potentially help any problems that your company might have or just fix any of its needs.
Okay. So, so as far as Pick Prince, I told you we're a fairly new company. We're an online company, so we don't have like an actual storefront. We're like a high-end printing company, so we print on canvas, acrylics and metals.
Okay. And what is your current payroll process?
So right now, once we get all of our hours in from our contractors and our hourly workers, then I send everything over to our CPA, and she confirms it, and I go ahead and write up the checks.
Okay. And how is that working out for you?
I mean, it definitely could be better. Just the communication back and forth with the CPA is really inconvenient.
All right. So how much time does it take for you to work with the payroll if that's the case?
Maybe 1 to 2 hours per week.
Okay. And how many employees do you have?
Currently we have 9.
9 employees?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And are these employees, you said they're 1099 or are they 2W2s?
Well, yes. So we have some hourly, and then the owner and I are definitely salary, and then we actually do some contracting. So we have the W-2s along with the 1099.
Okay. All right. And you guys do everything through direct deposit?
No, we're still writing paper checks, so that's another thing.
That's a lot of time writing everything down, and then are your employees here at this office?
No, our employees actually have to bring us the hours. So, and then after I review them, like I said, I send them to the CPA. So they get them to me, sometimes through text messages. Sometimes they, bring me some paperwork. So
I think a lot of time you getting help. That's a lot of mediums that you use to get those hours, and it gets a little complex and confusing if you try to figure out where everybody's sending your information. All right, so if that's the case, and you say you're at your CPA and you spend about 1-2 hours on payroll, is that also including if there's any changes with the hours, like if the employee forgot to clock out, or they put the wrong amount of hours?
With the employee, we have to make sure our employees get everything to us on time. So, if we make an error or we need to add some hours, that adds on to the time it takes me to get payroll done.
You say everything's run by check, so is everything done weekly or the checks?
It's done bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you have 26 weeks of checks. Okay. If that's the case, do you also handle taxes or your CPA?
See, and I'd like to be more involved in the taxing part, but I mean, my CPA really knows everything, so I let her take care of that.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. What about HR? I mean, since you guys are a brand new business, do you have somebody who handles all those regulations?
You're looking at HR. I take care of all the hiring and the firing.
Oh, wow. It's really concerning because, I mean, if you're handling all those, the HR and the payroll, and you're trying to keep up with the CPA, that's a lot of time that you're spending on just the back end stuff rather than focusing on the growth of your company and your clientele. So how do you keep up with the regulations for HR?
Sometimes I have to look stuff up online, or if I have to ask my CPA. But like I said, I let her handle that because I know she, knows the better. She knows it better than I do.
I mean, isn't it concerning because those rate regulations change yearly?
Yeah, and I didn't even know that. And I was just thinking more about with the business growing, but I mean, the regulations probably do change a lot.
Yeah, it does. So from understanding, just with all those hours you spend and learning the regulations, growing the company, but then keeping up all your employees who are not even in the office. It's really hard for you to grow the company if you're focusing on so much of that. So what I want to show to you is how ADP can actually help your business by saving you time, saving you all that heartache, and kind of put everything in one place where you can do everything in one where you can do everything in one place.
Okay.
Sounds good? Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and show you our ADP app. It's both on mobile and desktop. Yes. Alright, so from looking at the front page, how does everything look so far?
Everything's just laid right in front of me. I see management, HR, payroll.
Yes. Right here on this side, it shows that you have some to-dos. It gives you notifications whenever payroll is ready to process, so that way you don't have any late fees.
Okay.
When you have this. If you click right here on Run Payroll.
Run payroll.
Right, then we'll go ahead and start the payroll process.
Okay.
So this demo actually does it bi-weekly, so it fits right in your area.
Mm-hmm.
Right here you have all your employees, and you can see their hourly rates and if you have any overtime. If you just click next, this is where you actually put everything in, so you enter your payroll. So if your employees actually access our employee app, they're actually able to put in their hours and put it in one place, rather than you kind of collecting everything together, looking over everything, having it sent out to your CPA and then back to you. So when you push preview payroll, everything's right out in front of you, so you can see how the total number of hours, how much money you'll be spending for payroll, any taxes, deductions. That way you can get more involved with the taxes, as you mentioned before.
Okay.
So how does everything look so far?
Everything looks really good. I see I have different rates for different employees. It lists all their total hours, so it's nice to have everything just in one spot.
Oh, also, as you mentioned, like since you guys write everything by hand, with ADP you can actually do direct deposit.
Wow.
And you can determine if some people just still wants to do by check, they actually have the option to select if they want to do direct deposit or check,
Alright,
whichever they're most comfortable with. So once everything looks good, you go ahead and click approve. And there you go, you have done your payroll.
Oh, that's everything?
Yes, that's
Wow.
everything. Very simple, huh?
Yeah, very simple. I mean, it's all simple now, but I'm sure as soon as you leave, I'm gonna have more questions.
Well, if you have any questions, here is my card.
Okay.
It has my name, my number, my email, so whichever way is best for you to reach out to me, I'll respond as fast as I can.
All right.
But if you need any direct contact, we actually have a 24 hours tech support, customer service. So if you have any issues with the app or just have any questions on how things work, we can help you right away.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously everything looks great, but if I can't afford it, I can't do it.
All right, so let me go ahead and show you our costs for the app. It's actually not that bad. All we have is a one-time fee of $150. That's the implementation cost that covers.
One time?
Oh yes, it's one time.
Okay.
It covers the setting up the program onto your computer or your app, your phone, excuse me, and it also updates all your customer and computer information, includes training, and if in the future you have any updates, they'll automatically add to your app. And then, depending on the number of employees you have, which you mentioned you have 9, it's going to be $28.95 for just the payroll. If you want to do HR, which I'll show you in just a second, it's going to be $48.95 per payroll. And as you mentioned, it's bi-weekly, so you'll just have to pay this only 26 times throughout the year.
Okay.
So with everything, how does it seem so far?
Oh, everything looks really good. I mean, this is definitely something that I can see that will help my company in the long run.
Okay, that's awesome. So right here, as I mentioned before with HR, right here is under HR 411. It has all you need, all the documents, all the paperwork you need. If you ever want to do, if you ever need to keep up with any regulations throughout the year, so that way you're not looking on the internet or asking your CPA or anything related to HR.
Okay.
Sounds good?
All right.
All right, so I see that we're out of time, so I'll send everything out to you in the mail, including the demo, so you can play around with it, and then we can discuss more how we can bring ADP into PicPay Prints. How's that sound?
Well, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Nice meeting you today.
Thank you. Thank you.